What's going on? What's going on, everybody? This is Drew Dockery over at the Connector's Corner, where we build everything on kingdom principle. I am your business coach and master connector, Drew Dockery. And it's been a while. It's been a long time since we last spoke. It's been a lot of things happening, a lot of changes in life, transitions. As my other half would say, life is filled with swift transitions. So we got a lot going on for 2024. This is my fiance, Zoe Clark, who is going to be doing a segment on the Connector's Corner called Talks with Z. And I just wanted to bring her out to introduce her to you guys, and just see what she has planned this year coming up for 2024. We do have a few new segments. We're going to get back to our regular, our segments that we had already. Number one, we have the regular podcast, which is the business coaching segment. The last couple years, we've been talking about the Connector's Handbook. If you don't have it, you definitely want to get that. Reach out to me.
Please get it.
I'll put that email in the whatever below the video. It'll be below the video, but you can find it there. And on top of that, we'll have our bag talks. Have some major heavy hitting guests I'm going to be connecting with. But outside of that, I've been in public ministry as a believer for the last 4 years. I had my 4-year anniversary for public ministry a couple of days ago, and I've actually been in ministry my whole life, but on a public scale, it's just a lot different. So I'm going to be talking to a lot of other leaders, thought leaders, pastors, preachers, and we're going to have a ministerial segment. And I'll just be talking to people who are in ministry, and talking their story, hearing their story, what their biggest guiding principles may be. I'm sure it's going to be powerful because I'm connected with some very, very high level professionals as far as kingdom business and in the business world, which is super dope. But I'm going to have them on the channel as well. We're going to be doing interviews with them for 2024, so that's another segment. The Uncle Drew is a Coach segment is still something we're working on for basketball sports as a part of the Connector's Corner network. But I'm mostly excited about this new segment we're going to have, Talks with Z. I'm excited to hear what she has to say because I hear what she has to say all the time. I am inclined to hear it all the time. And she is super intelligent, very thought-provoking. One of the most outstanding young ladies I know, not only in ministry, but in business as well. She's very great at ministerial stuff. She understands protocol on different levels from different avenues of life, whether it's the church world or Christian world or the business world. She understands a lot. So, as she'll probably tell you guys, I drag her to a lot of business events with me when I'm out networking or doing things as a business coach. And it's just been exciting because there's certain things she sees that I don't. But, Talks with Z is coming up. So, Zoe, what is your thoughts on being a part of our network?
I'm super excited for the endeavors that the Lord is blessing me with this year. Being able to expand my ministry, not just to locally or in person, but virtually. It's so many people, not even just my age, but in life that goes through different obstacles. It's a lot of unsaid and untalked about conversations that aren't had, especially not just in the church, but in everyday life, based off of fear, based off of regret, guilt, any of those things. So my goal for this Talks with Z is to dig deep down, help people with healing, help them increase their abilities and what God has for them and for what God wants to do for them. I have a bunch of guests that I'm going to add to And it's not going to be just fully just Christian based, but I want to tap into the mind of people who are artists, people who are into music, who are into drawing or painting.
Creatives. I like that.
I want to be able to create an outlet for them to be able to express themselves, but also to be able to be relatable and also to build their platform. So that's my main goal for 2024, is not just to expound on my platform, but to help other people expound on their platforms, but also give them an outlet to be heard on a level that is usually not available for just us as artists, entrepreneurs, ministers, people in ministry, wherever capacity you serve it.
Right. So for like leadership people who are creative.
Yes.
Got you. Yeah, that's gonna be dope.
And not also leaderships too, because I want to be able to get to people who are on a leadership role, but get the perspective of a person who's in the background too.
Got you. So what do you think is the most important part of being a person in the background?
I feel like the most important part of being in the background, you're usually like not the fly on the wall. You're the watchman. You're the person who sees what another person can't see. So, for example, in church, because usually that's all I really know, more so is church. In church, you have the pastor, and then you have the ministerial staff, and then you have administrative staff. You have different departments. You have trustees. You have different departments. But then you also have the members. And the members are usually the ones that are the gatekeepers, if that makes sense. They're the gatekeepers. They're the ones that usually bring in the people, or are the ones that are supposed to be the one that looks out in the crowd. Because when you're in a platform and you're in a leadership role, sometimes it's hard for you to be able to see every little crack and crevice of what's going on. But when you have people that are in the pews, or you have people that are in the background or behind the scenes, those ones are the ones that see things that you usually necessarily can't see. And sometimes the way that God works, God doesn't allow you to see certain things in order for them to be able to have value, to be able to pour into not just your ministry, but into your leadership, into your church, into your business, into your artistry, whatever capacity that you choose to serve in. So being a background person is not always a bad thing. Actually, to me, I feel like it's not a bad thing. If it was up to me, I would be in the background. I would be sitting, I would be watching, praying, if it was up to me. But I felt like the people in the background have the bigger job than leadership. Because if you have the ones that are watching and are on the wall and are like the fly on the wall, you don't really have to worry about too much, but what your focus and what your intention is supposed to be. Mm-hmm. For example, for the preacher is supposed to be able to get into the pulpit and preach, and that's all he has to worry about. But then you have different departments, which are the background people that handle the different things and handle the different parts in the structure of building, not just a business, building a ministry, building any type of thing that you are setting your mind to do. Got you.
I agree and I disagree.
Why?
About it being tough. I think both need each other.
Right.
I don't feel like one is more important than the other, because they both, it's like members of a body.
Right. That's what I'm meaning to say. Like,
got you.
They're when I say that their job is the hardest, that's what I mean is that, yeah, they both have value, but some jobs require more hands-on hard work. Shovel to the plow. You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes more research and it takes more in detail when it comes to covering or it comes to working. If you feel me?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're saying it's like you got to be more attentive.
Yeah, you have to be very
for detail.
Yes,
got
very
you.
much so. You definitely have to be. You have to be on your toes all the time. All the time.
I can see that. For the ministries I've been a part of, I've been the background person as well, mm-hmm. but I've always played the background in a specific role. So I did my role, and outside of that, I didn't overlap or have to overstep into somebody else's lane because it was enough people to cover the grounds. But I've also seen it where there are leaders who they've got one person doing everything, and it's it's tough.
Yeah, and I can speak on experience. I mean, I've been in church my whole life. I love God. I love the people of God. But I've been in positions where I was doing everything. I was working audio video. I was working the cameras. I was doing praise and worship. I was intercessory prayer. I was the pastor's adjutant. I was hospitality. I was the usher. So I worked in different fields. But even growing up, I never really had an issue with it until you start to feel that burnout. Growing up in ministry, I been in church since I couldn't even open my eyes to do anything. So I call him my grandfather, Pastor William Gillison, late Pastor William Gillison. He instilled the importance of servitude, especially when it came to getting titles, any of those things. I remember being like 14, 15 years old, and I would get out of school at 3 o'clock. I would get on the train, and I would get off at Delavan Station and walk from Delavan Station all the way to Mount Olive on Delavan. And just to sit, Pastor, you need anything? Okay. We would sit in the computer room, or we would be like helping the janitor out throughout the church. Whether it was helping vacuum the sanctuary, any certain way that I could be able to serve.
Connected with the ministry,
service. And I call that background service because in those moments, those are the most moments that you get that intimate time, especially with your leader. And you get to see things based off conversations that you have. Whether you get a new outlook on how church businesses run, whether you get a new outlook on membership, building membership, things of those natures. So that's why I say that it's so important. Yeah. That's why the background is important, because those are the ones that get the earful of everything. They see and hear everything.
They get pulled into a lot.
They get pulled into a lot. And sometimes it can get tiring. Like when I left Mount Olive and I got older and the Lord called me to a different place to serve, I got to places where I was like tired, like, because I'm doing everything, I'm running rapid and I'm not getting no help. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot more pressure. Yeah. But I thank God, because the more the pressure that you get, the more God elevates you and the more God perfects what He has for you to do. If I never went through burnout, if I never went through frustrations of servitude, of being in the background, I would have no idea what it's like to lead.
Got you.
And now that I know how to lead, I can tell people, yo, I promise you, I know it seemed tiring, I know it's frustrating, but this is what I did, and this is how God blessed me to be able to be in these platforms, in these certain places. And I still, to this day, have no issue with serving. Like, Drew will tell you, we go to the church and we put up whatever pastor asks us to do. Pastor asks us to go out there and shovel, we're going to go out there and shovel and salt down. If our pastor asks us to, what we do? We put up plastic. Oh yeah, put up the plastic from the windows. Weatherize the windows. But even in the midst of doing weatherizing the windows, if it was cleaning the church, we will go and everybody's supposed to meet there to clean the church, and we done got most of the stuff done before everybody get there. You know what I'm saying? But that also helped with our relationship too, and help strengthen our relationship too, especially us being able to humble ourselves beyond what title man is giving us, what type of credibility we have, that we can still, take our shoes off and get down on our knees and work and serve. And I feel like that's important. Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. You said a mouthful. You gave. I know we got deep. Too much. I hope I didn't either. Because the talks with Z gonna be tough. Okay. Well, I'm glad y'all got a chance to meet Zoe, because this is I think this is going to be a very productive year. For both of us, as a lot of engagements. I got a couple of definitely. What the one engagement you got coming up pretty soon? The women's event, the women's panel. Yes. Can you talk a little bit about that? I gotta get the flyer out. Okay. Well, we'll come back to that. We'll come back to it, and I'll just make sure we do a segment that helps you promote what you have going on. That's fine. Okay. Oh, I got it right here though. Okay, go ahead. Okay, so I got asked to do a women's event. It's like a women's panel conference. and it will be April 6th at 5 p.m. and it's called Pray and Slay. And the theme of this Young Women's Conference is Women Who Heal and Heals. I'm on this platform, and I think I'm the youngest one on the platform. But I'm with my big sisters. I have Minister Nicole Reed with me, and I also have Prophetess LaShonda McDowell, and I'm super excited. Even from our meetings, with the conversation that we've had in meetings and stuff, it's really filled with a sisterhood. And the main goal is to show women that, you know, you can still be pretty, you can still be fly, and you can still love God, and you can still go to war. The devil is heavy nowadays, and I mean, he's been heavy before, but now, like, the spiritual of witchcraft has brought upon itself some type of
it's getting aggressive.
Yeah,
it's getting aggressive.
Like being very forceful, and especially on attacking our women and our mental. So the goal for this conference is not just to sit and talk and have dinner, but to change people's lives, to hear what other women have to say and what they're struggling with, and to be able to give them the best sound advice and spiritual advice as possible, and to allow God to do what he wants to do. If God wants us to lay hands, we're going to lay hands. If God wants us to prophesy, we're going to prophesy. Whatever, if he wants us to pray, whatever he needs us to do, because we do not want women to continue to come into churches leaving the same way that they came.
Got you. That's dope. I'm looking forward to that. Is men allowed to attend?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's open to the public, but it's more so focused on women. But it might still, it all depends.
We'll
but
see.
I'll give you more information.
Definitely, because I'm quite sure she'll be doing some stuff on the channel here as time progresses, and that's April, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
April,
so we got a couple months.
I think April 6th at 5. Yeah.
Got you. Okay. So yeah, we'll definitely be promoting that. Big announcement. Outside of all of the bombs we done dropped on everybody is up until this point, we are launching our ministry, and it is called Kingdom Faith Ministries. We will be doing a segment on the Connectors Corner, and I'm going to leave space for just different things. It won't be always church, and this is not specifically a religious channel. That's not the design of the channel. But, you know, what I believe is what I believe. I'm not looking to change anybody's belief. I'm looking to just provide great principles, great information, great precepts that you can use to change your life. It has nothing to do with religion whatsoever. But since it is my channel, I'm going to do what I want to do with it. And what I want to do is add this new segment for the Kingdom Faith Ministry. So we'll be doing that as well. But just stay tuned to what we have going on at the Connectors.
A lot of announcements, a lot of local things going to be happening.
Absolutely.
And whatever we can do to be able to help build and uplift each other.
Right.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
We want to see everybody win. And that's a huge thing.
Goal is growth.
Yes.
Progress is the law of God. Progress is the law of God. So that's the goal. You want to be progressing.
Right.
Moving forward in life. So, I'm excited. Definitely excited to see how everything is going to play out. Was there anything else you wanted to add before we close out?
No, I'm short and simple. I try not to. I let the Lord lead me, and I don't have nothing to say.
Got you. Well, with that being said, I look forward to talking with you guys again very soon. Let's keep these conversations going. And like I tell you always, what is you remember my clothes or no?
I don't.
Ooh, and I forgot it. Well, either way it goes, thanks for coming, guys. We'll get back to that, and I'll talk to you guys soon.